What's up, everybody? I'm Kansu, and this is the Crystal Corner. Shouts out to all my Crystal family out there. This is your first time to the channel? Welcome. This is where we give tips and tricks and talk about some spiritual things or some thought thought processes that most people don't talk about on here. You know, a lot of times it's just me talking out some ideas that I got going on in my head, right? And this one came to me today. I was on my Facebook, and this is a statement. Ironically enough, I'm Kansu, right? I don't know if you guys can see that. The guy that posted this here, Kansu. So there's that. Okay? The statement says, the reason many spiritual people can't find partners is because they are demigods or goddesses and can't be allowed to mate with humans. Now, this is funny because I've said this so many times. And all I get is these blank human stares like, what? We're all human, right? No, you're not. If you clicked on this video, if you're on this channel, if you're part of the Crystal family, I'm here to let you know, if nobody's told you before, you are a crystal child. Some indigo peppered in there, but you're a crystal. We're in an era right now, or an epoch, or a yuga called the Age of Aquarius, right? The last epoch we came out of was the Age of Pisces. Pisces deals with belief, right? Pisces is the feet of the body. It's the bottom level in the 12 levels, you know, if we were to put it that way. In that cycle, we were being told about and discussed how to attain Christ consciousness level through your belief. And the symbol for the Christ figure is the fish, right? The fish is Vesica Pisces. This is what a Vesica Pisces looks like. I'm gonna draw it, okay? It's 2 circles. You got a Venn diagram. Everybody did this. First time I remember doing this was like 1st grade. So you got your likes on one side, you got your differences on the other, and then in the middle you got your same, right? I don't know if you can see that too well. So likes, differences, and the same. This part here, that's the fish. So I'm gonna just redraw it. It's kind of what it looks like, right? This is duality. The Vesica Pisces is duality. And it's only split based on your beliefs, right? This middle part is where you come into knowing. That knowing brings us to the Age of Aquarius. And Aquarius looks like this, right? More or less. This is a hieroglyph for water, right? The waters of Newton. Those waters are the spiritual information that's being re-accessed, right? It's about knowing. It's about what you know. And what we've come to know in this cycle is who we are. A lot of us know that we aren't from here. A lot of us know that we're very, very old souls, myself included, right? Those waters that are talked about in Aquarius, I mean, it looks like water, although Aquarius is an air sign, that symbol is a symbol of water, right? Thought process. Water flows and air blows, but the fluid dynamics of both is exactly the same, okay? This is why wind turbines work underwater. Same process. The waters that they're speaking of, in Aquarius, because if you look at the symbol of Aquarius, it's water bear. It's somebody with a jug pouring water. What does that mean? It means that throughout the zodiac, right? On the date of me filming this video, it is, I don't know, December 17th, okay? It's December 17th, 2017. We are currently in Aquarius, not Aquarius, we're talking about Aquarius. This is Sagittarius, and we're transiting to the season of Capricorn, okay? Just like you have the 4 seasons, and if you live in North America, if you live in the Northern Hemisphere, our winter is 3 months long, right? Typically. There's a winter or a dark period, because this time of year, it's dark most of the day. We have more nighttime than daytime in this period of time, right? And that light doesn't start to come back in until Aquarius. Aquarius is the section of the zodiac where we start to gain more daylight, okay? So you can associate that daylight with enlightenment, okay? When we start to relearn who we are, start to tap back into our spiritual practices, tap back into our spiritual powers, and all of those things. Now, how does this apply to that statement that, we'll read it again. The reason why many spiritual people can't find partners is because they are demigods and goddesses. Like we said before, a lot of us know that we're not from here. I'm not from here. Most of you probably aren't from here. What I mean by we aren't from here is our soul didn't originate here on this planet, okay? Came from somewhere else. There are souls that are from here. Terrestrial souls, we'll call them, because Earth's name is Terra. Terra means literally Earth, okay? So, if you are someone, just like if you go back and watch my video where I stated that you're a god or goddess now what? What do you do? There's rules that come with it. Just expand on that, okay? Some of the rules are, if you're a god or goddess, you can't mate with human. You can't be with the human. Your relationship with that person that's not woke, it's not gonna work. Not to knock anybody that goes to church or any spiritual practice or anything like that, but let's say you're a bruja or a brujo or a spiritualist or a voodooist, a root worker, whatever you call yourself, and you are trying to be in a relationship or associate yourself with people that don't have the same vibration or don't do the same practices that you do, it's not going to work. It's not going to work when you start to call yourself a god or a goddess and you step into that godhood, because the human can't fathom that frequency. So it just has to fizzle out. It has to die. It has to go away. This is the reason why a lot of us can't be around people of a lower frequency. It also plays into the fact that a lot of us, like myself, are empaths. And being an empath, you tend to take on or reflect the energies of those around you, right? Give me a second, turn my heat off. So, those associations have to go by the wayside, okay? What do we do to tap into that? Just go with your knowing. Remember, like I said, Age of Aquarius is about knowing. It's represented by the ankles of the body. The ankle knows where the foot is so the body can walk, okay? You have to know who you are, what you stand for. Like I said, if you think or feel as though you're not from here, you're not. If you feel as though you're a certain god or goddess, you are. Simple. But demigod means half, right? Half would be the half that is would be our consciousness and the energy that inhabits this vessel. We call it Ka. But the other half is human. So it's not to say that if you are with someone that's not on the same wave or not on the same vibration, it can't work. It's just saying it's going to be a lot harder. And I liken that to, if you grew up in the 90s like me, you've probably seen the movie Hercules. Hercules is a demigod. Remember, his dad was Zeus, okay? His brother Hades represents the underworld. In one aspect, the underworld represents the subconscious, but on another one, it represents Malkuth, or Earth, what we're on right now. Okay? He sent Hercules down to Earth. So if you relate it to the tree of life, you got Kether and you got Malkuth. You went from heaven to hell. So now he's on hell. And who did he send down here to spark his downfall, to take that God power from him so he would forget who he is? You had panic and you had pain. And two demons, those are the two things that are rampant upon this earth. Panic and pain. two very, very low vibrational frequencies. When you start to level up and live your life like a hero, or a Haru, become the hero of your own story, begin to conquer those demons, the panic and the pain in your own life, you start to vibrate higher again, to the point where eventually, after you've achieved so many spiritual feats for your own practice to eliminate some stuff, generational curses, eliminate blockages in your path, open up pathways, tap into spiritual powers like clairvoyance, clairsentience, clairaudience, intuition, synesthesia, seeing aura, seeing orbs, any of those things. There's so many. I could go on and on and on about it. But towards the end of the story, after Hercules got these feats, you know, the hero of the story, the Haru of the story, he was offered the opportunity to go back into his godhood. But what did he choose? He chose to stay on heaven, not on heaven, down here on earth with Meg and the humans. That's what a lot of our ancestors did. Because at one point in time, we were full gods. At one point in time, we were able to fly and shoot laser beams out our eyes and had wings or whatever the fuck you can think of. Because superheroes are based off of shit we had. Back when everything was very, very high vibrational, reality wasn't as dense. But those powers didn't go anywhere. They had to lie dormant until such a time came where the gods would be rebirthed back on Earth once again, okay? Because like I said, that DNA came from somewhere else. It didn't originate here. It's not to say it hasn't been on Earth for a very, very long time. It just didn't originate here, okay? So they came, they made it with humans, whoop-de-whoop, had power, power goes dormant. When we start we as in us, when we start tapping back into our power, we start to tap into that godlike DNA. We start to vibrate back up. We start to wake back up. Like I said, that DNA had to lie dormant for so many generations in order to get here. To the point where you get here and you like looking at hieroglyphs and stuff, or looking at whatever, studying whatever, reading whatever, you get a voice, thought, idea, whatever. Wherever that spark was, it's like, you know what? I don't belong here. I'm not from here. Just that thought alone should tell you that if you're not from here, you shouldn't try to get with somebody that's from here. Because it's probably not going to work. If you're not from here, or if they're not from where you are, we have what's known as cultural differences. It's the same thing that would be, and shouts out to everybody that's in an interracial relationship, but it's the same thing where me being black were to get with somebody that's Caucasian. Black people like seasoning. Generally, white people don't season. That's a cultural difference. Generally, if I was to be with someone Indian or Asian, they have their own religious practices. Over here in America, generally, black folks are Catholic or Christian, Jehovah's Witness. Those are the three. Muslim, those are the four. Over there, you got Muslim, you got Shinto, you got Buddhist, Taoist, Hindu, Sikh, Jain. There's so many. You know what I'm saying? So there's a cultural difference. Say there's a cultural difference to relate to you that when you descend from godhood, you have a spiritual difference between the individuals that you're coming into contact with. And it's not to say that you won't find a relationship. It's not to say that there isn't someone here for you. What it's simply saying is 9 times out of 12, it might take a little bit longer. It might take a little bit more effort. It might take you to work that little manifestation a little bit longer to have it pan out. Because we're out there, but we're scattered, okay? And because we're scattered, it allows us the time and opportunity to grow within ourselves, to come into our own godhood, so that when we attract our mate, we won't tear shit up. And I put this like if you've seen the movie Hancock. Remember Hancock with Will Smith? He was a demigod, right? Could fly and do all the stuff that we talking about. Took that kid, he was calling him an asshole and threw him up in the sky and then caught him, you know what I'm saying? But he also had a partner. He had that white girl. Don't remember her name, but that's neither here nor there. What is here or there, and here and there, is that when Will Smith's character got close to his partner, and they both were unbalanced because, you know, he was an alcoholic. He had all kind of problems. She was an egomaniac, or from what I remember, she had a lot of problems too. You bring those two chaotic energies together for two gods, what happened? It was causing tornadoes, the sky turned black, shit was getting fucked up, and dude started to die. Physically, he started to die, so she had to go. She was like his kryptonite. It's the same thing with being in contact with low vibrational beings, lower vibrational people that make you feel heavy, people that make you feel like you have to dim your light just so that you could be around them. You're killing yourself. That God in you is dying out. Now, those two guys can come together, but both of y'all have to be balanced. Both of those individuals can come together, but you have to be balanced. And to balance out somebody low vibrational when you're high vibrational is a sacrifice of vibration. You got to kill yourself a little bit. Not physically. Anybody that's thinking about doing that, that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is an energetic thing, okay? You have to lower yourself. You have to dim your light, so to speak. Like if I go over here and turn this light, you see how bright that is? Now if I turn it down to like there, the light's still on, but it's to a sacrifice of my own brightness. You can't see me as well. I'll pan up so you can see. See, it's still on, but I dimmed my light to sacrifice my own glare. Now, when I turn this back up, you see how it has that ray? It's kind of got a glare. But this is symbolic of my light. You know what I'm saying? This is literally my light. If I dim it, I can't see as well. If you dim your own light, you can't see as well. You can't see your path as well. You won't be able to walk your journey and have it manifest as well because you've turned your light down. It's like trying to fry chicken on low. Like, yes, it can be done, but bro, how long is it gonna take to fry this chicken in a cast iron skillet on low? You're gonna be cooking forever. The bread ain't gonna be mushy. It's just not gonna be good. You want to get something done, you got to turn the fire up on that thing. That fire is your solar plexus. That fire, shouts out to my painting. This is the tree life. You can see it. Come back a little bit. This is your solar plexus. This is the root. This is the root chakra, okay? This is the seed. This is where the power lies. This is the cage that beast is locked in, okay? Orange is when it starts to come out. Yellow is when you start to be able to see it. The green is where it starts to feel. It's here. The green is where it starts to feel itself as a being. This blue here is where it starts to communicate. Then it's able to see on a higher level. Then it's able to transcend. This is Kundalini. This is that water that we're talking about. The winter that I spoke of, you locked in the root chakra. Aquarius starts to bring you up into the solar plexus so that you can start to feel some creativity, some joy. Start to understand who you are, what these things are around you. You dig me? And as you level up, the light changes. Your brightness goes up until it hits ultraviolet, which is a frequency we can't even see here. Now, this is something I haven't done on the video yet. Hopefully that makes sense for you guys. If it doesn't, leave comments. I'm more than happy to clarify. But long story short, because we come from somewhere else, because our energy is of such a high vibration, the only way for a relationship of any kind to work with somebody, this includes parents, grandparents, cousins, uncle, auntie, brother, sister, friend, co-worker, relationship, partner, whatever. If you vibrate up here and they vibrate down here, yes, you would like for them to get up there, but let's be real. A lot of people have a cap. The only way for you to balance that out is for you to sacrifice your own light. Most of us aren't willing to sacrifice that because we go up. But this is a scale. So the higher you go up, the further away you are from their vibration. The only way to get that fixed is to sacrifice yourself. And that's not what any of us are trying to do. Never sacrifice yourself for somebody else. If you are a demigod or goddess, stop doing that. If you know a situation is not going to work because you just feel like the vibe is off, cut it off. Don't wait till 2020 to do it. Just cut it. You only sacrificing yourself to balance somebody else out. This is a journey to fix you, not someone else. You can't pour into somebody else's cup until you get yours out the cabinet and fill it up first. It's like, this spiritual journey is like, if any of you have been on a plane, you know when you get on the plane, get ready to go somewhere. Let's say you're going on a trip to the Bahamas, right? So you get on the plane and they going through the safety thing. Us on our spiritual journey are on that plane getting ready to go up in the air. Some of us are already up in the air, but we headed up. Our vibration's going up, right? And the only way that you can help somebody else if there's turbulence, when that panic and pain starts to come in and that mask drops down, is for you to put your mask on first so that you can put somebody else's on. If you try to put their mask on before you get yours, you're likely to die first. You're killing yourself, trying to lower yourself to look out for somebody else spiritually. You can't do it. If they're not there, they're not there. If you can deal with it, then deal with it. But the higher you get up, it's going to be harder and harder to deal with, and you know it. So cut it off. And like I was saying, this is something I haven't done in a video before of this type, but I think I'm going to do a short reading here as well. Let's see what kind of message Spirit has to give us as a collective, so this is for everybody, about some of those ties and some of the things that we need to cut off for 2020, okay? Bear with me, I'm gonna get some cards. The first deck that called out to me is the Goddess Oracle. So we're gonna rock with the Goddess Oracle. Give me a second here, because I got other cards flying out. But let's see. I might pull, I don't know. I'm gonna just pull until I don't feel like pulling no more. If that's all right with y'all. I'm gonna step back. I got a little bit of a glare. Hi, Chloe. Come here. Chloe's in the building, yo. All right. So I'm still shuffling these cards here. The first one that flies out is the, oop, see? It's gonna be the one. This one says infinite supply, Setman. You are supplied for today and all of your tomorrow. This means that you've got everything that you need. You've got the ticket. You're headed to where you're going. You got everything that you need. Don't try to pack anything else. Don't bring anything more than you need. Don't be the bag lady Erica was talking about. Shouts out to Erica Badu. You got everything that you need. Keep going forward. You already know what you need to do. Why are you procrastinating doing it? You procrastinating on doing what you need to do is blocking that infinite supply because you're scared you don't have enough. You've got more than enough. Everything that you need is right there in your face. The next card I'm going to pull from is the Moonology Oracle deck. But let's see what's on the bottom of this. Bam! This is the shadow side. Light side comes off the top. Shadow side comes off the bottom. You got to have balance in everything. On the bottom of that Goddess Oracle, we have aim, leap of faith. Take a risk, put your heart's true desire in motion. Like I said, you already know what you're doing. Your heart's telling you what to do. You know what your energy's like. You know what energy you're willing to accept and what you're not willing to accept. So why are you holding yourself back? Just take the leap of faith. Don't worry about the how. Don't worry about the when. Just worry about what you can do right now. What you can do right now, take that jump. Make the move. This is the perfect time to do it. This is the perfect time to do it. Don't wait. Let's see what the moon has to say. I love the moon. I'm a moon child. Kansu is the lord of the moon. I'm a Cancer. It's the only water sign I have for real on my chart. I'm Cancer sun. I'm an Aries Taurus cusp on the moon. I'm a Leo, Venus, Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, and rising. I'll talk about the sun a lot because shit, I'm I'm a sun child. My problem has been uh, trying to hide behind my own light. Kind of like this light here is bright as hell. It might be dark outside, but it's bright as hell. And it's even blinding the camera. There's nothing I can do to block my light. I just have to put it out there. Stop running from it, or had to. It's still a struggle though. You know, we get better and better every day. This one's a good one. This one says your commitment's being tested. Your commitment's being tested because you have everything that you already need. It's telling you to go ahead and take that leap of faith, but that leap of faith is your commitment to whatever it is that you're doing. If you're new to your spiritual journey, if you're new at a job, if you're new with a relationship, or if you've been in a relationship for a while, your commitment's being tested. There's options on the table, and there's nothing wrong with that. We have the ability as humans to change our mind. And if something doesn't feel right, oftentimes it's not. So do what you got to do. But if you're working on a manifestation and it hasn't come through yet, keep holding on. Your commitment is being tested. They want to see how bad you want it. And on the bottom of the deck, it says, work through your fears. I was told that anything that feels scary are the things that you should be doing. If it feels off, if it feels weird, if it feels wrong, that is different than something that is scary for no reason. The things that scare us are often the things that will help us grow the most. I speak from personal experience in that regard because this whole spiritual life that I live was very scary from the beginning. Really and truly, I have gone through a lot to get to the point where I am now. I've faced all kinds of adversity and have almost lost my life on a couple of occasions doing some things spiritually, just based off the energies that were around me at the time. But my commitment was tested, and this is nothing that I would ever give up or sacrifice. I'm right where I am because of my commitment. And you can get here too. You can do anything that you want to do. As my grandma told me, you can do anything you put your mind to. But I qualify that statement to say, if you put your mind to it, you must also strap your boots on and put the work behind it. Do anything you want if you put your mind to it. But you got to put your boots on. High school I went to in Cleveland for a couple years, I had a motto. And that motto was Ora et Labora. Ora et Labora. Oraetlabora. In Latin means prayer and work. Prayer can be substituted with meditation. It can be substituted with yoga, spiritual work, purging, shadow work, light work, root work, whatever kind of work it is that you do spiritually is a prayer. You're a walking prayer. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you do, whatever oils and crystals you put on yourself and blessings that you put on yourself, you become the prayer, right? So that spirituality is in you to manifest whatever you want. But the second part of that is labora. You got to put the work in too. Okay? Let me get a couple more cards. The next deck I'm pulling from is the Spirit of the Animals Oracle. This is my favorite deck. I love this deck. I have always been attracted to and cool with animals. Since I was a kid, man, I've always had dogs and cats. I've had gerbils, hamsters, turtles, frogs, snakes, spiders. I had all kinds of shit, man. So my spirit communicates a lot through animal spirits. And the one that came through just now, you guys probably just saw it fall out, is the eagle spirit. It says mastery. It says you're on a spiritual journey beyond the sky. And this is so funny that we're talking about flying currently, right? You're leveling up, you're going up, you're getting ready to soar high, but your commitment is being tested. Don't be afraid of your own wings. You can sustain yourself. I also went to Kent State University. Our mascot is the Golden Eagle. And those of you that might go to Kent State or have heard of it, there's only one way to graduate from Kent State University, and that's to fly up out of there. We even have a spot called the Eagle's Nest. You a little egg in the nest until you graduate and figure out how to fly up out of there. Because there's ways that you can be in college for longer than you need to. We'll talk about that on a different video. But this says you're on a spiritual journey beyond the sky. Let go of the past and soar. Remember? You know what you need to let go of. You've got everything that you need. You know what decisions you need to make. Just do it. Let go to soar like the eagle. Fly. Step into that spiritual body. You're guided by the winds of spirit. Your wisdom inspires the world. That's funny too. That's talking about you and your spirit, your light, your aura, your shine. Don't dim it for anybody else. That's your power. Stop sacrificing your greatness for the benefit of someone else. That is the worst thing that you can do. And this card just flew out too. Remember, we're talking about not being from here. We're kind of otherworldly. Well, you supernatural. You have the spirit of a dragon. This is so crazy. So back to the painting with the snake on it, right? And I was showing you the chakras. And I was telling you how the Kundalini energy sits in the root chakra. The energy of Kundalini oftentimes is depicted by a dragon. When you raise that vibration, when you start to tap into that, you start to awaken your inner dragon, your inner supernatural powers. This is what we're doing. But if you continue to sacrifice yourself and sit around people that have no benefit for you, or people that are on a lower vibration than you, or people that make you feel a certain type of way when they leave or when they're around, it is holding you back from your power. That is your commitment being tested. Is this what you really want? Because you can do it. You can tap into this supernatural, otherworldly power and become the demigod or goddess that you're meant to be this lifetime. But you got to cut off some loose ends, man. It says you are an ancient, wise sage. Remember I said a lot of us have souls that are very, very old that did not originate here and had this genome had to sit and lie in wait for generations upon generations upon generations in order for you to get back here. A lot of us got DNA that originated way back in ancient Lemuria and Atlantis and the Olmecs and Toltecs and Mayans, Kemets, Indus Kush Valley, the ancient Aboriginal Australians, the Dogons, the Dagon. There's so many of us that came from those cultures, and we know those cultures have cosmic implications as well. They dealt with spirits that came from other places. They have stories about how the aliens came here, bred with us, we became the aliens, some of them stayed behind, blah, blah, blah. That's that whole demigod and goddess thing we were talking about earlier. It says, you are an ancient and wise sage. So this is you. Do you really want to tap into your power? Because you can. You can shape-shift at will. It means you have the ability to change yourself to fit whatever situation it is that you're going into. But